Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to another sprint summary of the Kiali and Jaeger teams. So today, the first thing that I would like to say is to say thank you to all the community. You know, this week we realized that that the Kiali project was included into the radar tools. For us, that was very good news, and that means that the service mesh technology are something that are increasing the awareness, increasing the news about that, and also the tooling that are working in scale Kubernetes deployments and so on. So are interesting for the user, for the community. So thank you everyone for being part of the community. As always, we see that we have more and more users through the GitHub issues, notifications, Slack, IRC, reporting feedback, asking for new features, comments, suggestions on what to do. So all that we do, all what we plan is public. We use the GitHub projects. This is what we have done in this sprint 47. For us, you can see our backlog, the current high-level epics, that big area that we are working, and all the details, that what is the in progress, what is the pull request, and what's done. So yeah, feel free to reach us, feel free to collaborate, just with ideas, with issues, and etc. So some highlights. So this sprint was mostly bug fixing, stabilizing sprint in all fronts. A lot of bug fixing the UI, style things. So also things in the backend like performance issues, right? And also a lot of operator fixes related to feedback from the community, feedback the user that is something doesn't work. So you will see a lot of pull requests on the bug fixing from this sprint. And let's see to show, right? But in one of the more visible things, I collected some examples could be interesting. For example, now we fix the permission in the overview actions. Just a reminder that we introduce more action for service mesh management. One of the actions was to places in the namespace level to enable or disable the auto injection labeling, okay, and also to create traffic policies. Now we have fixed that if Kiali, the user, has not the right permission, they cannot to see this action, or these actions are disabled. There was not a security flag because if the user has not permission, it simply has a runtime error that, okay, the backend is reporting that you cannot perform the action, but now these actions are disabled. Just a reminder that this is linking to the airbag integration of Kiali. So Kiali is just asking airbag if Kiali can perform on behalf of the user some other operation. Right? Depending on the permission, is going to enable or disable this action. Right? Another area that we have improved is the Istio validation warnings or errors. So I would like to mention that to give thank you for the community, because this is one area that is quite active. One of the goals of Kiali is not only to tell you or to give you a high-level view of what is happening based on the telemetry, but another pillar of Kiali is also to tell you how is configured your service mesh, right? Because it could be it can impact a lot that you have a misconfiguration one of the resources of Istio, destination rules, virtual services. You may see something wrong in the telemetry. Debug that could be hard, task to identify why you are not seeing in your cluster expected behavior, right? So this is something that it changed a lot. And we combine all the Istio validations with more semantic validation that are performed from Kiali. We try to collect the Kubernetes information and combine and to do some kind of runtime validation. For example, if I create a destination rule and that destination rule doesn't exist in runtime, the definition of the configuration might be right, but probably you are going to have something wrong in the telemetry. So Kiali is focused on that kind of feature, right? And this is completely evolving. So your feedback is something very important for us. And this kind of change of the Istio validation one is also came from the user feedback. Okay, so tell us what do you expect, how are you using the Istio config, how Kiali can help you to improve this kind of information to make more easy to use technology. Okay, another task that we performed on this sprint is to completely remove the Istio mixer config. So remember that in Istio 1.8, mixer is completely deprecated and I guess it's completely removed. Right? We were keeping some support for the Istio config mixer in Istio 1.7, Istio 1.6, but the next version of Kiali 1.26 going to be shipped with Istio 1.8, and we just remove the old config support for the airbag Istio.io, authentication Istio.io, and config. You won't see that into the Istio config page, and all the validation related to the old objects are also removed from Kiali. Also, in Kiali, we have a demos folder. Well, let's say that we have a Kiali demos repo also that is designed to test Istio features through Kiali, and we want just to go beyond Bookinfo, especially in those features that Bookinfo are not covering, and we want to test and we want to ensure that are working well in Kiali. We introduced new GRPC demos, focus just in GRPC traffic, not HTTP traffic, just to see, okay, if all the telemetry and all the configuration is working as expected. Also, we have improved the TCP only scenarios, also in the same way to say, okay, that we can to text more complex things using the non-standard HTTP 1.x, right? So this is available for you just to use it, give a feedback, or even collaborate with more ideas, or change the demo, right? Another of the features that we have introduced in this sprint is that remember that in the world of details of Kiali, we have a logs tabs that is focused to give you information about your application logs, but also the more important is to correlate with with the proxy logs, right? Because sometimes you want to debug, okay, while my application is doing something, but I don't know if the proxy is working perfectly, and I will need to access to the proxy logs to confirm or to correlate that information. So now we have a UI enhancement that is that we can just to view in full screen mode, of the browser, right? Not only to cover all the browser, but just to get all the screen, to see better, or to see maximize this window. Another improvement in the logs is to disable timestamps, right? To filter the information that we collect from the logs and try to help in the way that we can filter or show the specific lines of these log pages. Also, we have improved the way that we can query the time interval searching in the logs, just using custom time range to limit the pot of messages, or just to focus in a specific interval across all the metrics, logs, and tracing tabs inside the world of details. Okay, from Kiali, the last feature that we can comment is that we increase the support of OpenID login, even if the Kubernetes cluster has not the OIDC integration. And this is the implementation of this is that we are turning off the airbag, and we are using, in these cases, the service account token, regardless of the login, right? And I think that is for Kiali side. And now I'm going to give the mic to Gary, who's going to give an overview of the Jaeger team. Gary?
Hi, thanks. On the OpenTelemetry side, we've been doing some work to improve the testing and the release processes around the Observatorium collector, which is the Red Hat build of the OpenTelemetry collector, and a builder tool which allows you helps you to build custom OpenTelemetry collectors. There's been some work on the moving the group by processor, and also there's a TEL-based sampling processor that have been moved out of the core repository into the common repository with some bug fixes. Also, there's a new batch per trace library, which is required as part of firstly providing a load balancing capability, but that's ultimately working towards a scalable TEL-based sampling solution. And then on the Jaeger side, we've been working towards investigating alternative storage solutions. So doing some more work on file-based solution, adding performance tests and checking for regressions, and documenting that solution, and also identifying the requirements we're looking for an index-based solution, which is then going to kick off some more work in the following sprints to evaluate different solutions. And that's it.
Okay, so thank you, Gary. So for feedback for the last